Welcome to the Shootin The Que podcast, presented by Heath Riles Barbecue, with tips, tricks, and an inside look with some of the top pitmasters in the game. Now here's your host, Heath Riles.
Welcome back to another episode of Shootin The Que. Today I'm joined with my lovely wife, Candace. How are you doing today, hon?
I'm good.
A little tiring, huh?
Better.
Better.
I was tired, but it's getting better.
So we just got back from our family vacation for the year. We went down to Orange Beach, and I think as adults now, we need a vacation from a vacation, right?
True. Yes. Especially with a 2-year-old.
She's a little bit of a handful
her vacation.
Sometimes. It was her vacation, most definitely. Her vacation. So every year we go down to Orange Beach and have a good time. Usually is what we've done the last 5 or 6 years, really 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And ever since we had our baby girl, we've started carrying her down. So she's a little over 2, and she had an absolute blast on the beach. And she's more of a pool girl than probably the beach. She don't like that sand
For now.
on her hands. Yeah, right now. She gets a little wild with it. But while we were there, we had some good food.
We did. Some of the places we've been to, we go there every year, different places, but then we tried some new ones too.
We did. We went to a place called Tin Top that was referred by my aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
And we had to drive. It was, the other side of Gulf Shores? Closer to the
I don't
Fort
remember
Morgan
the
side.
name of like the city that it was in. It was a small, or town. I don't know about city, town. It started with an S or something. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, but Tin Top. And they're actually closing. This was the last weekend in that location, and they have built a bigger location. They're moving right down the road.
It's in, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Bon Secours or something, Secours. I don't know how you say it. I know I'm saying it wrong, but it's 2 words.
Probably a little township, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was really neat. It had like this little Catholic church and these big cypress
Had several
trees.
churches, though, not just the Catholic church.
On the corner, but it was really, was that it may have been
That was a Catholic church, but there were other like churches very close. But that one
really
was
small, like old school churches.
Yeah.
It was really just on that corner where that restaurant at, it looks like, I don't know, just so homely feeling there. Just so the community and welcoming.
It was kind of like, I don't know, if you're local to us, you'll know what like Chatterbox and Como and those type places, that kind of feel. I feel like it was that kind of feel.
Old school vibe.
Yeah.
It was like in a block building, right? That had been added onto with wood and stuff.
I think so.
But the seating was really tight. We were like you were almost sitting beside the next table. That's how close it was.
Yeah, it was very close seating.
But apparently it's a really popular restaurant, and they've kind of outgrown their space, been there a long time, and so they've built a brand new, really bigger restaurant that's going to open up. I think it opens up this weekend, rolling into this weekend coming up, their new restaurant.
I don't know, but I noticed because they have like a big board, plus they have like a menu, but they do nightly specials too, because like the night we went was catfish and another fish, all you could eat.
All you can eat, like $15.95.
No, I don't think any of us got that, but
no,
was,
you had a great steak.
I did have a good steak.
I mean, and to be little hole in the wall, I thought that steak was with no sauce on it, no nothing.
It had it had something though, like it had a flavor.
Yeah, like it had been
really
marinated.
Good, yeah, I don't know what in, but it was very good. And the baked potato, it's hard to have a good baked potato somewhere, but it was like that.
Steakhouse baked potato.
Well, you could tell it wasn't just fast cooked; like it had been slowly baked and had that texture. If that
fluffy.
Makes sense.
Oh, it does to me.
Yeah.
Because anything in the ground, grown in the ground, root wise,
and the collard greens too,
need to be cooked slow.
Yeah.
And anything that comes out of the ground can be cooked fast or grilled off. That's kind of always been my motto. So slow cooking sweet potatoes or baked potatoes, that's no doubt the way to go on that.
And their collard greens were good.
Their collard greens were spectacular. And was it Gouda grits there, or was it some other type of grit?
I think it was good. I didn't get that, but y'all did.
They were the only thing I could really complain about there, if I had to say anything. The grits needed to be a little bit thicker.
So it was kind of a mixed on that though, because so you and my dad got a side order of grits, so it was just grits. But like my mom, her main dish, she ordered shrimp and grits, and her grits
they were great.
The consistency was a lot different than y'all's side dish of grits.
But I had a seafood stuffed pork chop with some kind of sweet and spicy glaze brushed on it. But it
was a cranberry jubilee or something. Was
cranberry jubilee glaze? Yes,
is that right?
I believe you're right. Seafood stuff, but it was. I don't know that it paired very well with the fresh collard greens. Those were not out of a can at all.
No,
those were cut, soaked. They were done right.
Yeah, and then what else did we even have there? I don't know.
Well, you ordered strawberry bread pudding at the end, and you said it was just. Yeah, you said it was just okay.
But in the restaurant's defense, I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm not a bread pudding fan.
Yeah.
So I knew that going in. I chose to order it because I do love strawberries. I like lots of strawberry things, and I can't make strawberry things anymore because Heath can't eat strawberry things. So if I see an interesting dessert that's strawberry, I usually like to try it. And I was disappointed, but it was bread pudding. It was not bad. You tried it. I'm just not a bread pudding.
No, I didn't try it.
I thought you tried a little bite. I'm just not a bread pudding person, and I don't know where the strawberry came in besides the drizzle of strawberry on the plate. So I was disappointed, but it's my own fault for ordering something that I know I don't usually like.
Well, and we also tried out Zeke's new restaurant, and I was kind of burned out on seafood by then. We ordered some seafood appetizers, right? But what
did we order there? Yeah. That dip. And
I ordered a Wagyu burger there that had burrata cheese on it, remember? Roasted red bell peppers, had like a great glaze on it, and arugula, and a pesto. I thought the burger was really good. I will say that. It was a really unique burger, especially to have burrata cheese on it.
I did not try the burger. I'm not a burger person, but I ordered the special of the night, which was mahi, and it was kind of almost like blackened, and they said that it had a voodoo sauce on it, so it was like a little bit of a spicy sauce, and it was over cheesy polenta, and it was very good. And I got that beet salad that we shared, and it was good.
That beet salad was really good. And, you run into a lot of places that do salads that usually don't put enough cheese on the salad. I think we were talking about
all
that
of their
there.
salads, because other people got salad too, and they were all like full of cheese.
Yeah, full of cheese. And we're talking the beet salad you had goat cheese in it. So you really only see people put a few crumbles.
Oh, it had
this was in crumbles. Every single bite you had goat cheese, which was kind of not normal.
And it had like a lemon vinaigrette. It was very simple. It was just arugula, red beets, goat cheese, and lemon vinaigrette.
And it was
very good.
And salt and cracked black pepper. It was really good. It was really good. But other than that, of course, we hit the good docks seafood for some good fried shrimp, and I'm a stuffed crab and clam strips kind of guy. And for anybody that's not been to Doc's Seafood, it's just a little hole in the wall, like lunch-style spot.
You can get canned beer there.
Canned beer, and it is so cold it will hurt you. Am I joking about that?
No, it's cold.
It is ice cold.
That's not the only reason I go. I do like their fried shrimp, but it's one of the reasons I go.
It is, and it's on the bay. And then we did go to another restaurant that a friend recommended, that GT's on the Bay. It was a new restaurant for us. And you didn't like it that much. You thought it was okay, but you also, what you ordered too, I think, had a lot to do with that.
What did I order? Some fish. I ordered
that seafood stuffed fish.
Yeah, but what kind of fish was it? Grouper. It was grouper, which is usually a mild fish, but it was very fishy.
Yeah, yours was very fishy.
And that, I don't know, that it was.
I like their salad bar there, and I like the atmosphere outside because it seemed like it's pretty cool. You can put your boat up on the water. They had a long set of docks for boats. They had good collard
greens there.
They had good collard greens there. They had good grits there.
I didn't try the grits.
They also had the best dessert. No, I take that back.
I don't think we got dessert
Louisiana
there, did we?
Lampfine.
I don't know how you
Lanyap.
I don't know how you say that. I don't know.
Louisiana Lanyap had the best dessert, which was key lime pie, and it was homemade. Tasted like my grandmother's.
Oh, Collins got ice cream there. Our waiter tried to give her a whole bunch of chocolate syrup on the ice cream. I just looked at him. I was like, that's not for her. He was like, oh, she can't have it. I said, she can have it without the chocolate. I mean, it's like 7:30 at night. I'm not giving my kid chocolate.
Well, if you remember,
vacation, but no.
When she had that ice cream, that was the night that.
So she had ice cream 2 nights.
2 nights.
And now there were days that she had ice cream earlier in the day, but there's something about my kid. If she eats ice cream or anything sweet in the evening time, between the hours of 2:30 and 3:30 a.m., she is going to be awake.
Wide awake. And
she was that night, and the other night she ate the ice cream.
She was walking in the bathroom.
Yeah, she's just up walking around.
Yep, up. Hey.
What y'all doing?
Mama, daddy. This is what you doing.
And you know, my parents being the grandparents, oh, you need to give that baby ice cream. Okay.
All grandparents say that.
Yeah, but they're not the ones at 2:30 and 3:30 a.m. having to deal with it either.
No.
That's why I was like, yeah, it's 11 a.m. Yes, you can have a pop. You can have ice cream.
Well, we had a great vacation. I can't say the least. The weather for the most part was great. It drizzled rain a few days, but we had a really, really good time. And, you know, before we left, I done some rib videos.
Yeah, so you did the rib comparison.
I did. And I thought to myself, I've been trying to look for different types of videos and ideas to come up with that I hadn't seen a lot of people do, or something that's really unique, or just, you're always wondering, I've cooked ribs 500 kind of ways, but I've never cooked them side by side.
Yeah, and compare them.
And I really think doing that, I don't know, it gives you a better indication of ribs. It did for me. I love a full spare rib at a restaurant. I love a good baby back rib, and I love a St. Louis rib. All of them have their place with me. I don't know. It's hard to beat that baby back to me when it's cooked right, and I don't know if that's because we've cooked more baby backs than probably St. Louis over the years. And a St. Louis rib is good. I guess it just depends on how it's cooked. But a St. Louis rib kind of gets stringy to me a lot, the texture-wise.
So the point in doing it, like, you trimmed them all. Was your goal to see if they were going to have different cooking times?
That was my main goal, to see how they were gonna cook all side by side, to see how they finished out. Because, you know, you tell people, hey, I cooked this recipe at 3 hours. I cooked this one at 3.5. I cooked these ribs fast at 2.5 hours, 2 hours, right? And I wanted to see if it was a huge difference between a slab of baby backs and a slab of full spares.
And you cooked them all on the same cooker?
All on the same grill.
Temp,
and I chose a pellet grill to cook them on for the simple fact I didn't want to have to, I wanted to take out of the equation my stick burner. I didn't want to have to do anything but turn the button on, and I want to see how the ribs cooked on a pellet grill. And I need to take that and do that on a stick burner now, because I think the comparison will probably be a little bit different. And even on a drum, I think it would come out a little bit different. But on that pellet grill, it held, and I didn't finish them all to the same temp, but they were all done, right? Just because of texture-wise.
Well, you've always said that anyways. I mean, it kind of depends on the cut of meat as to what temperature. I mean, it's hard to tell somebody, I feel like, yes, it's done at this temperature when it comes to pork anyways. And I'm just basing that off of that short amount of time that you had me cooking ribs when we were on the competition circuit, because they wouldn't always get pulled at the same temperature. It was by feel, like you always say.
It is, and that's just because every animal's life is different. So even though we trim those ribs down to close to the same weight, the same amount of bones in each slab and all that, it doesn't matter, because there's not but 2 ribs of each in each animal, right? And so if you're cooking 10 slabs of ribs, that's 5 animals there on the table, is the way I'm going to look at that. So, you know, you might have a slab that hangs up. So when that thermopin can only take you so far. And I guess that's why I don't have a lot of feeling left in the ends of my fingers, you know, is by touching those hot ribs like that. But you have to, in competition-wise, I want to know that sponginess. I want to know that judge is getting a moist rib. At home, it really doesn't matter. You're just trying to make a good eating rib.
Yeah. So you did them all like we said, at the same temp, same cooker. You even season them all the same with the everyday rub.
I didn't want anything different color-wise or anything. I wanted all of them to kind of be the same. I didn't use a binder, I just went straight everyday rub with some honey chipotle, and then come back and, I mispronounce that a lot just to get the algorithm up. And a lot of people don't realize that. Huh?
How'd you say it?
Chipotle.
Which way is right?
Chipotle.
Tomato. I don't know.
That's right. Onion. Whatever. Depends on how you want to say it.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm not trying to be proper. I'm trying to be Heath. There's something for you.
Your phone's going off.
I know. We need our jar up here, right?
You're the one that put it away.
I did. I was having to put too much money in it. But the only thing I did when I wrapped those ribs was wrap them in the brown sugar honey habanero glaze and tried to keep it very, very simple. And I come back and just sauce with the competition sauce. I didn't want to go to mixing other products in or of mine like I normally do. I just wanted to keep it simple. And I think all 3 of those slabs turned out good. I can't remember the exact temp. All of them were hitting above 203 degrees, right? But the baby backs may have been 204, 205, 206, whatever it was. And I think the spares were only I think the baby backs were about 208, 209, and I think the spares were about 203, 204 is what it was. And the St. Louis was kind of running in the middle of that. But they were all done. They had that bend, and when I picked them up, they started cracking. So I knew they were done.
Were the baby backs overdone?
No. They were spot on. And, I ended up doing 2 videos, right?
Yeah.
I done that video, and then I turned around the next week and done a wrapping video.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose all St. Louis ribs on that end. I think that's right. Yeah, all St. Louis ribs. And I tried to cook those all the same way. And I chose foil, butcher paper, and no wrap.
Right.
And surprisingly, those ribs were all done at the same time. I mean, I did not think that would kind of happen. The one slab that I thought would be a little more tighter, which was the slab I didn't wrap, it was only on the grill like 5 minutes longer than the other 2 slabs. I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but those other 2 slabs wasn't off the grill 5 minutes for me to wrap, not even 3. I mean, I had kind of had everything ready. And so when they went back on the grill, I didn't lose much time, right? And so for that rib finishing on with the 2 ribs wrapped, I thought that was pretty unique. I did. And I had some comments of people saying, well, I knew which one you were going to pick, whatever. Well, in my professional opinion, the one wrapped in the foil was juicier. It had better texture. And I'm just going off of that because I'm a certified judge in several sanctioning bodies. And it's just my professional mouthfeel that I on that rib. Maybe that's not the way to describe it best off, but I don't like a crunchy rib. I don't want the bark to be hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of like brisket. It looks hard, but it's not hard, right? And that's kind of how you want it. And on the back of a rib, we all know it can get really crusty and on the ends, right, because of how thin it is. So wrapping in that foil or that butcher paper that creates a little bit of that steam kind of softens that bark up. And I always tell, in contests and judges and in classes I've taught, you want to build your bark on the back end, in my opinion, for competition-wise, because you want that soft bark. And because you don't want to judge having that rough feel in their mouth. And maybe that's why I like that rib better that was in the foil. Now, the butcher paper rib was absolutely great. But to me...
So what was the taste different? Do you feel like there was a taste difference between
definitely.
Not just texture, but like flavor, because you seasoned them the same, you did all that the same, but the foil compared to the butcher paper, what would you say was the taste or flavor difference?
I think that you could probably taste a little more of the smoke in the butcher paper.
I could see that.
I mean, maybe just a tad. The texture was the biggest thing for me. It was not as stringy because it was more of a soft bark compared to the one I didn't wrap. And, that comes right off the top of the pork belly, that St. Louis style rib. So that stringiness that I'm referring to, right? When you cut it with a knife, you can kind of see it on the rib that I didn't wrap versus the one that was wrapped in butcher paper. And then when you go to the other one, you can really tell a difference. And when you pick them up to squeeze them, all of them had moisture, even the one that I didn't wrap.
Yeah.
But it was bubbles of moisture versus just salivating with moisture.
So do you think that you should redo that video on other cookers as well, just like you wanted to cook the other?
I think I should. I probably should. I think I really need to do baby backs next like that, though. I would like to know how they do versus the St. Louis.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. Good comparison. Some of, I guess, one of the questions or comments about the other video when you were comparing the three, the St. Louis, the baby back and spare, people were kind of saying that you're trimming too much or that trimming isn't necessary, that kind of thing. What's your...
I mean, I guess some people, I'll take that. If you don't want to waste any of that meat and you want to leave those end bones on there and all that, it's just something that I'm accustomed to cutting off. I'm not going to eat that part of it anyway. But if you want to leave it on there, hey, leave it on there. It's your slab of ribs. That's just what I do to mine. And, you know, I had so many people ask me what I done with the trimmings of that. And those rib trimmings that day, I didn't do anything with them. Some days I save them and try to trim as much meat as I can off and fat and things like that and save them and put them in my grind bags in the freezer. I mean, you know how I am with briskets and stuff. I may trim 10 briskets before I thaw everything out and grind it all up, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure I got enough to work with versus just a little bit at a time. It just kind of depends on what you want. That's what I'm going to say.
So why do you trim them, though?
I think that's the contest's competitive side in me, that I've always done that. And that little bit of heavy silver skin and fat pocket on one end of a St. Louis style rib, if you don't get that off, you really want to eat that, it's not going to go away when you smoke it. You're not going to get it at a high enough heat to make that disintegrate.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just a nasty, fatty pocket of fat that you're leaving on that rib for nothing on that one end of a St. Louis rib.
So you don't think anybody ever eats that, really?
If they do, I mean, why? It would be my question. And look here, don't get me wrong. I think everybody's been that drunk dude or lady at midnight and there's one piece left and it's that end bone and they've gnawed on it. Hey, I get it.
I have not.
It's happened. You may not have.
I don't
sure I had. I don't remember it.
I mean,
But I can't see me eating the end bone of that. I never do that. I don't serve a judge the end bone. It's just something you don't do.
But I'm just talking about at home, not necessarily like competition.
Even if I leave it on there, I still cut it off and discard it at the end.
Yeah. So do you feel like when you don't wrap a rib that you have to babysit it more as far as, you know, having to spritz it more or spritz it at all? Because if it's wrapped, clearly you're not spritzing, but watch the bark, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I really do. Get your color right. And I'll tell you, if you're not going to wrap ribs, I really feel like cooking low and slow is the way to go. 225.
I mean, do you feel like your everyday at home cook wraps ribs, honestly? I mean, I don't know. I'm asking. Yes, and maybe
I don't
split.
Really know. I think
half
it's
and
probably
half.
split half and half now that you say that. Because a lot of people do wrap in foil. And reading the comments, okay, the majority of people wrapped in foil. You had a lot of people out of Texas that say they use butcher paper only. And you did have a lot of purists that didn't like that I cooked on a pellet grill. Well, I just done the comparison on a pellet grill because it was easy that day.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people at home are cooking on a pellet grill, but I mean, I guess.
And there's nothing wrong. Hey, I got plenty of stick
too.
burners. Everybody that hollers, hey, you cook on a stick burner, they must not know I have an array of them, and we do cook on them. They're called Outlaw barbecue pits. You should look them up and buy two because one's not good enough. I think I'm going to have my fifth before long. You see that new hog hideout they got? I mean, I'm about like Malcolm. He keeps innovating, and what do? You thought you had the best one, and now it's like, oh boy, I really like that thing. Yeah, you don't need to watch that. You know, I'll be done bought one.
We're running out of places to put them.
I'm building a new shop right now. Don't worry. We got it going up.
So we're just gonna build more places.
We're building a pit
storing.
museum. We're gonna bring people in like Elvis. It's gonna be like Graceland. We're gonna bring them in. They're gonna look at the pit.
So we're gonna have people buried there.
No, we might. You can bury me in a barbecue grill. I started putting that BFO. You know it. And we got a track hoe out here. My uncle does. We can dig a hole, put it in.
Oh,
That would be pretty cool. I don't want a pine box when I go. I want a barbecue grill.
Do they even do pine boxes anymore? It's like a casket.
I mean, I'm sure, but
I'm sure they do, I guess.
we wouldn't even need to buy a vault if we done that. We got a grill.
Are you sure? I don't know the rules on all that, but I don't really want to find them out yet either.
I mean, I don't want to find them out either. I'm just saying. Well, you know, it would be cool to be buried in a barbecue grill like that, wouldn't it?
No. What if you go to hell? You're just going to be cooked?
I'm smoky anyway.
I don't like the thought of it.
A casket versus a barbecue grill?
I mean, I don't like the thought of either. I don't
Well, I mean, I ain't trying to go tomorrow.
Well.
I am not. Hope I stay around a long, long time. I got to walk that little girl across the aisle.
Across the aisle or down the aisle?
Down the aisle.
She's going to see this one day and maybe not let you.
Oh, my baby let me do whatever.
Oh, gosh. So what is the perfect rib to you? Baby backs? As far as, you know, the type, and seasoning, sauce, that kind of thing, or do you?
It depends on the mood
yeah,
for
I feel
me.
like you have a large variety of.
I'm a St. Louis or baby back man, and it's kind of a coin flip of which one I get out. And I'm going to say that I probably cook. I mean, I know that I cook more baby backs than I do spares or St. Louis style ribs, just for the pure fact that you know how much we practice baby backs going into Memphis in May. But that loin part on a baby back, the texture is a lot different versus this St. Louis style rib. So kind of depends on how many I got in the freezer of those Prairie Freshers of which one I'm going to cook. That's it's really true. And it's about time to get some more ribs in. I'm down to my last 7-8 slabs.
Oh, I hope you're going to put some more freezers in that, where you're going to go storing all these grills too. Cause we have a whole garage full and they're all full.
We don't have but 3 freezers. They're not all full.
No, we have more than that.
At the house. I ain't talking about at the shop. We do have a freezer at the shop.
We have a freezer at the shop. We have 2 deep freezes at the house and then 2 refrigerators in the garage with freezers. And then we have a refrigerator inside with a freezer.
Yeah.
So technically that's, 5 freezers?
Yeah, but all of us
Well,
not
6,
all of us
including
not comp meat that I do though.
No, it's not. It's, different fish you've caught and animals that haven't
Might
been.
be some ducks and some deer and some elk out there.
I know there's a duck out there that.
Oh, there's about 4 ducks I need to take to the taxidermist out there.
Yeah, just a whole duck with feathers and all in my freezer. I mean, it's wrapped up.
They're
but
wrapped up right. They're preserved the right way. I do need to take them up here to the gentleman, get ready to get them mounted. I do.
I don't know what you're waiting on.
I mean, I hadn't had time.
You're lucky that your daughter hasn't seen that in the freezer because I'm sure she'd grab it. I don't know how that would go.
I'm sure she would. I am sure she would. Well, those rib, after we got done filming those rib recipes and all that, I told Jacob it was time to put together another mean comment list, especially out of those videos too, some of that, because we did get some good ones out of some of those. Apparently I've not cooked ribs ever before on some of those videos, according to some of those people, but I'd really like to see your slab, Joe.
That sounds really awkward.
Well, I'm just saying, these dudes that jump on there, it's kind of like some of these gym rats. You know what I mean? It's like
Gym rats? Is that
that's
like
what
a hood
I call
rat?
some of them, like a hood rat, like a gym rat. Well, I mean, if you're going to be an expertise in your
Is
field,
it like a keyboard? So you have keyboard warriors. Do you have keyboard cookers too?
Yeah, keyboard cooks is what I like
Keyboard
to
cooks.
call them. Oh, there's
Or
a bunch of
chefs.
keyboard cooks out there. You should have done it this way. You should have done that. Well, I'll do it that way next time. This time I done it that way.
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
everybody has an opinion, I guess.
The mean comments is good.
I mean, we get a lot of comments. Most of them are positive.
Oh, most of
but
them
there
are all
are the
positive.
occasional hate mail or however you.
I don't want to say hate mail. We ain't really never got no hate mail.
Well, not mail, but I mean, a mean comment's kind of the same thing, isn't it? Just in the updated way, the world we live in today.
Well, I mean, that is the world we live in today. Let's get started. What do they say?
All right. I think you made a lot of people mad when you did the baked beans the way you did. So you lost me when you drained that great sauce off the beans. Don't quit your day job, bud.
Do you know my day job is doing barbecue full time and also employing a team of people to do barbecue full time? So I think I'm going to keep hanging out with the barbecue and probably make some more beans. But in my defense of that, the reason I drained the juice off of those Bush's baked beans, and I did get some comments that people didn't like that I used Bush's baked beans. Well, I didn't want to take the time.
We use it because of the dog.
That's it. I
'Cause
like
he
Duke.
talks.
I like Duke.
He talks.
That's
and we
it.
like him.
Bush's baked beans is just a classic staple. Honestly, it is. You can take regular pork and beans and doctor them up. My grandmother used to do that too.
I mean, they have that thick stuff on them too.
They do. And so being able to really drain the juice off of them, when you add brown sugar, what's brown sugar do? It liquefies, right? Yeah. Barbecue sauce, it gets thin when you heat it up, right?
Yeah.
So my whole intent of draining the juice off of those beans, I didn't want to add too much liquid. And so then the key to a good baked bean, is everybody knows, is brown sugar. If you don't think it is, then you don't know how to cook baked beans. Because in the South, that's the truth. And now it's up to you whether you put hamburger meat in it, bacon, pork, brisket, or nothing. It's completely up to you. Some people just put the bell peppers and onions, right? But you got to cook those beans down.
Some people just pour them all in a can and heat them up, and that's it.
Some people do on the stove, and that's it, and that's all fine if that's what they want to do. But I'm not like that. I'm not. And especially when it comes to a good holiday bean. You know how I am. I mean, and same way with potato salad. You kind of got to throw it down. I don't like coleslaw out of I will go, if I'm being lazy, and pick up coleslaw from one of the local restaurants here in town. There's several that has good coleslaw. I'll grab a quart instead of going to the store. But when it comes to making coleslaw for my dishes, I want to make it. And I make a variety of coleslaw recipes. And the majority of the ones that I do, I don't measure. But the baked beans, going back to them. You don't measure
baked beans either, I don't think.
No, you have to cook them till they get the consistency you like. You got to thicken them up to where you want.
I think I saw I don't even think that's on here, but I think I personally saw a comment where somebody was kind of bashing you for cooking the baked beans for as long as you did. It's basically saying that was ridiculous, that it doesn't take that long and all that. But I disagree, because if you try to rush the you can rush them and they're going to taste fine. But when we take the time to do them, there is a difference. And if you haven't had them both ways, then I hate that for you. You should try it, because there's a difference.
Same way with that sweet potato or baked potato.
True.
Is it a difference in
cooking? Yeah, if you rush it, it's a difference in the texture and the flavor and the taste. And I mean, especially a baked potato I can deal with, but the sweet potato, if you roast it at a low temperature, slower, I mean, it brings out like the natural sugars. It's a big flavor difference.
And you can tell it when you
added. You can tell a difference.
Well, even when you cut it open to start kind of taking your fork and loosening it up to add some butter to it, it's so much more fluffier texture wise and cooking it hot.
Not
like 375 or over 350 is a no. I'm talking 275, 300 tops on a roasted vegetable. And that roasting part, and it goes so long, is the perfect way to do it. I mean, perfect way to do it. So, the baked beans, man, I'm going to keep dumping that sauce off and keep adding brown sugar and sauce back to them, because that's the way we like them. That's why I always say that on our videos. That's the way we like them.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm gonna hang out this day job a while.
Let's see. I like a little bit of meat with my seasoning. How stupid. And that was on YouTube for the foil versus butcher paper versus no wrap video. So I guess they're saying you season.
I guess they were blind then, because a slab of ribs, especially depending on which slab it was, all those weighed probably 3 pounds or better. And I know that I did not use 3 pounds of rub on a rib. I didn't use but a little bit of ounces. And so
a few ounces.
A few
maybe.
ounces.
A little bit of ounces.
Well, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how dumb of a comment can you really be? And I'm going to say that out loud. How dumb of a comment can that be for you to say, I want some meat with my seasoning?
I mean, I feel like people have always kind of bashed you, and not just you, many other people out there making videos, you know, for the amount of seasoning that you use. I remember one comment from way back when people, like, there was one guy, I think he commented it several times across several videos, but he was basically accused you of using so much rub because that was your sell tactic. So you were trying to teach people to use that much rub so you could sell more product.
I used to be
basically.
a big layer on rubs, as you know, and I condensed my competition rub down and done some things. But there's so much rub that comes off of the meat during the cooking process. And you see a lot of old school pit masters that will take and they use mop sauce or after they wrap something or whatever. And then what are they doing? They're shaking more seasoning over the top of it, right? Yeah. Build another layer of flavor. So it's all about building layers of flavor. So when I used to use 4 different rubs on a rib, I mean, I cut my teeth winning contests like that and probably have won more money than, I mean, I'm not gloating about this, but I feel like my techniques on ribs have won me more money than a normal person's job or a normal job has paid me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to think that my tactics prove themselves. And so if he wants more meat with it, he should get more meat. I guess buy a side of cow. I don't know. But that rib weighed 2.5 pounds, and I can plop down a 2-pound bag of rub on this table. There's no way I've done that. So not even a cap full. Come on. His name Johnny?
I don't know.
Sounds like a Johnny comment.
Doesn't say his name. Here's another bean one. If you're using pre-prepared beans, pre-made barbecue sauce, and pre-made seasonings and rubs, you have no idea what you're doing. You're just doing modified dump cooking. Okay, so pre-made barbecue sauce, your recipe, you created it, you made. Pre-made seasoning and rubs, again, your recipes that you created and made. So they are pre-made, but you made them.
I don't even want to comment on that.
You don't?
No comment. I'm going to let the internet be the judge of that one. No comment.
Let's see. Lost me at Traeger. Pellet smokers are a joke if you want real smoke flavor. I mean, that comment comes all the time, I feel like.
I mean, the whole pellet grill debacle is something that either you like pellet grills or you've either been anti-pellet grill since day one and you're just a purist, right? And you want a stick burner or a charcoal grill, and that's fine. But I do think that everything changes over time and that people want more convenient these days. They work longer hours. They're out here working and doing things. They want a convenient life. And I love cooking on my stick burner. The flavor is incredible. You cannot mimic that flavor from that stick burner or that drum. But there is nothing wrong. You're not going to go out there when I'm not at home and fire up a stick burner to cook you dinner. But you will go out there and turn on that pellet grill and cook you a piece of fish or a piece of chicken or something in a heartbeat. Especially before you even do it on our gas grill. You'll do it on the pellet grill because that's what you like. And so for people to sit here and say that pellet grill's this and that, man, it's all in what you like. And that's what people just on and on and on.
Make seasonings and sauces without the awful seed oils, please, and I'd buy a ton. So would carnivores.
Well, there must be a lot of carnivores out there that like rub.
What?
Carnivores.
Well, I'm guessing the person that made the comment is not a carnivore. Otherwise, they wouldn't have said that. So
yeah.
I guess they're an herbivore.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of seed oils or anything else. I don't know what to say to that either.
All right. So, hold on.
That's a good one, the next one.
Say you are an American without saying you are an American. Americans killing themselves one bite at a time.
Land of the free and home of the brave, baby. Come on over. The water's just fine. That's the way I look at it. Everybody bashes the United States till they get here, don't they?
Look at this next one. Rich people videos. Like all of us are going to cut meat off of our ribs. I have a bridge to sell you.
Is it wood or concrete? I kind of need one over a creek I got. A little small, little wood. I need some 2x6s.
Some oceanfront property, too.
In Arizona? Well, man, if you can't trim that little bit of gristle off the end of that end bone, I mean, if you want to cook it and cut it off and give it to the dog, I agree. I mean, we do that sometimes, but
we don't even have a dog.
If that end, we used to. If that end bone, if you that hard up and worried about cutting that off, I don't know what to say. Well, we do save the majority of our trimmings and grind them.
Yeah. And
do things like that and make sausage and make burger meat and I don't know. Just because I didn't show them that on that video, I guess they weren't happy about it.
You're going to take the time to do all of that for some already made beans. This seems more like when you add stuff to Hamburger Helper and call yourself a chef. Dang.
I think we should take whoever said that and the other one up here that said if you're using pre-made beans, pre-made marinade sauces, let them create the pantry. We should all go on Chop together. And we'll see how it works out for them.
It's like that one picture that was going on social media for however long. It was like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, what did it say? Like, it made it all sound chefy, but it was basically just peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I guess they're. I
will be the first to say I'm not a chef.
True.
Can I make sauces and glazes and cook different types of fish and meat and proteins and things like that and know my way around the grill and things like that? Yeah. Do I learn something every time I cook? Of course I do. I mean, every piece of meat cooks differently. And that's the biggest thing. I really wish people would understand that. Every piece of meat cooks differently. You know, everybody's taste buds are different. Everybody's texture of what they want meat to be or what they feel like it should be different. And if you want to spend 8 hours cooking down hard beans to make baked beans, go right ahead. But I'm going to buy some bushes because that's what I like.
And we like the dog.
And I'm going to put some hamburger meat in them and bacon most of the time. Unless bacon strips on top.
That's how my grandma did it.
That's how my grandma did it. Them was just old school baked beans. It is what it is.
They probably didn't do that. That's probably a southern thing.
They do the canned stuff. They warm up. Whoever said that, guarantee pours out of a can and warms it up. Don't add nothing to it.
Well, they must be trying to learn something if they're watching videos, or I don't know what they're doing. Maybe not. Trophy, pellet, comp, gloves, and watches. Bring your ass down to Texas, Bubba.
I have been to Texas, and I've been all over the Southeast before.
Oh, okay. I had to stop watching. You're too wasteful and you're trying to teach competition barbecue cooking at home, which is not your regular viewer, which is not what your regular viewer is here to watch. A big waste of my time, and I vote you down.
A thumbs down just because you say I'm trying to teach competition barbecue. Depending on which video you're speaking of, the ribs 3 ways. That's not a competition video. That was just ribs 3 ways. So that was a comparison video, and I used a dry rub that I make. If you don't have that one, you can use any rub that you have or you make yourself. I just tried to put out an educational video for some of the viewers that did like it.
You know what?
But
they still watched the video.
They still watched the video, and I got that view. Thank you for that 3 cents. Appreciate it.
I think that's all for now.
We have some good comments today. Mostly the baked beans and the ribs. That is nice.
You made people mad with the beans.
I'm going to cook more beans.
It's kind of like the Philly cheesesteak.
I was just going to take that out of your mouth. It's about time for me to piss some people off in Chicago. I'm going to do deep dish pizza next. That's what I'm going for. And then I'm going back to Philly. I think we ought to do a chicken Philly next. That's what I think we ought to do. What do y'all think about that? Maybe we need to do a chopped rib Philly.
Maybe we need to make a page of Heath's comments on here and talk about some of those because they're highly inappropriate. No. I don't even think he realizes what he said.
I probably didn't today. A thumbs down because I just don't get that.
Oh.
Well, look here. The mean comments are all good, folks. And I don't mean nothing bad by that. I laugh all this stuff off, believe me. It's kind of like saying don't quit your day job. I mean, people apparently just don't do their research themselves or just want to jump online and do anything, have fun with your cooking. Do it your way. Treat it how you want it. It's you cooking it, and cook it the way you like it. It's completely up to you. And use the seasonings that you like. But if you want to pick up a bottle of ours, be sure to go on HeathRilesBarbecue.com. We'll sure ship you a bottle. Quick, fast, and fresh. Now, let's talk about the big giveaway we got going on.
Hot Grill Summer's been going on.
We are leading
several
in.
weeks now.
Week 9 coming up. Burgers, right? Wow, I know it's going to be some good burgers on there. The last few weeks have been incredible. I don't know if you've seen some of the entries.
I've seen a lot of the entries. I'm sure I haven't seen every one, but
I was online on Sunday, and the posts that people were making, I were like, wow. I mean, they just keep getting better and better as it goes on. It's incredible the amount of participants and the amount of people throwing down on this.
I feel like you can get, burgers have become such a thing lately. You can get real creative if you want to, or keep it basic. I don't know.
Well, would you say
There's
right
all
now
different
has kind of
kinds.
been the, I would really say that it's kind of been the year, last year and this year, really started a smash burger craze. Have y'all noticed that?
Yeah.
It's smash burger, smash burger, smash burger.
Everybody
You've
has
even
them
got
now.
Sonic doing smash burgers now. Because I've seen somebody review one the other day.
What'd
online.
they say?
They actually said it was good. They did. I mean, I'm a fan of Freddy's, those steak burgers they do, And what was the other steak and shake that we used to have? We don't have them around here anymore, but I always thought they was a great smash burger.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Wasn't bad. I'm just not a big burger person, but
I love burgers. Well, leading into this week, Thursday kicks off Burger Week. Remember to submit your photos with the hashtag Hot Grill Summer 24 to enter. You can do it on any platform whatsoever. And what is this week's prize? Looks like a Gateway Drum Smoker Go-To grill and leg kit, some Roll Oak charcoal, and a RC Ranch gift card. Somebody's going to eat real good, some good Wagyu beef from RC Ranch.
yeah.
Real good.
Just remember to do original creations and to use Heath Riles barbecue products only.
That's right. I mean, but we've had a lot of people, and if you don't feel like cooking, you can also sign up to win a $100 gift card every week that we're also giving away, which is really cool. In a few more weeks,
Then you got to cook when you use your gift card and buy stuff. So
That's right.
might as well go ahead.
We're winding down the weeks, and we don't have but a few weeks left, right? And we're going to be rolling into the custom Gateway Drum Smoker for the reserve kind of prize. And the grand prize is going to be that custom Outlaw patio smoker with a crap ton of accessories and things like that, charcoal, fuel, meat, everything. So I can't wait to see the last 2 weeks' dishes of the spreads and the feast. It's going to be pretty incredible, no doubt.
Hope somebody has some room for some cookers because they start collecting fast.
They do start collecting fast. And, we got to check into that big one. We need one. We need one of those hog hideouts.
We have several big ones.
We need one of those hog hideouts.
Jay, I like how it's we.
Jay, we'll be talking soon. Can't help it.
What do I get?
What do you get?
What can I buy myself?
You get me. That's priceless. And with that, we'll see you next week on Shootin The Que.
Thank you for tuning in to the Shootin The Que podcast. If you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, please feel free to reach out to us on our social media channels or through our website. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Leave us a review if you enjoyed the show. Until next time, keep shooting the Que.